Speak Up with Vernisa and Jen. It's time to speak up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vernisa.
Hey, y'all. This is Jen.
And this is our podcast, Speak Up. What's up, Jen?
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm glad that we made it to episode 12 of our newest segment, SpeakUpJV Now.
That's right, y'all. We've been here for a cool minute now, and I'm super excited to see what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yes, most definitely. For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends, and we create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self-love and respect.
That's right, y'all. Whether it's 12 episodes or 12,000 episodes, self-love and respect will always be two core values we hold near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, most definitely. Before we get started, quick shout out to our amazing sponsors. Shout out to My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester in Inglewood, California. Get your nails, your lashes, your hair done. Ask for Maya. Tell them that SpeakUpJV sent you. As she can see, she just slayed me. Her Instagram is at myy.bar.
And shout out to Be Actual Natural. Why settle for less? All their products are created with you in mind for a goal to let your self-love show through your self-care. Their chemical-free hair and skincare products are handmade, plant-based, and free of fillers or preservatives. Treat yourself while you're taking care of yourself. Start your journey at www.beactualnatural.com or check them out on Instagram at beactualnatural.
Yes, most definitely. So I'm excited for tonight's episode. We have a very special guest. We actually have another media personality in the building. Y'all give it up for J.Brock of Clap It Up LA. Woo! Hey!
Yeah. What's up?
Welcome to SpeakUpJV Now.
It's great. Man, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a blessing to be here. It's great. I love y'all intro. Y'all got the sponsorship announcements on deck. Yeah, y'all next level.
You next level. We remember meeting you at the straight out the truck event. I was like, we had to get you on.
Oh man, it's a pleasure. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, for real. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your brand.
Okay, so I'm J.Brock of Clap It Up LA. My brand, the name is Clap It Up, and it kind of came from. So I was a motivational speaker originally. I can still do that. But so I would shoot these videos and I would have these messages. But what I started doing was like run up to my camera clapping. And so my friends started to kind of joke and tease about it. Like, yeah, clap, clap, stuff like that. And then one day I went to sleep. I was working this job. I went to sleep and I was just kind of trying to figure out like, how can I get out of this situation working this 9 to 5? I hate it. And so I went to sleep and had a dream. And I had a dream I was homeless, right? And it felt great to be homeless, not because of like my bills or anything, but I just felt like I had my freedom to live life I wanted to live. And so I remember just running away from like these business people, and I remember like running to Sunset. When I ran to Sunset, it was like God touched me and said, you can have everything you want, but you have to help yourself. So I woke up that day, and I'm sorry I skipped the part. I got a phone call from my godbrother who was joking, like, yeah, I'm gonna call you Clapperberry, such and such. And so I was like, maybe that should be a brand. I woke up that day and said, that's it. Clap It Up is my brand. I started to do the clothing. I just ran with Clap It Up.
Ooh, I love it. I love how on the intro y'all be clapping. It be getting me hype when I'm scrolling down Instagram.
Yeah, it's crazy because clapping is just a natural reaction in life. You know, how many times you looking at a sport, a basketball, football, and people just get up and start clapping. You know, you go to church, you clapping. You can celebrate yourself by clapping. Maybe you passed the test, or maybe you got a position at a job, or you just accomplished something, and naturally you want to clap. So, I feel like it's just very significant to life like this. The name has the potential to be very, very big because of clapping and what that means all in itself.
Well said. I love it.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that's like a celebratory thing. I mean, I feel like as soon as you start clapping, you start getting hype, right? So
facts.
That's something that you definitely incorporated. So I guess that answered the question that we were going to ask about the clapping. But what would you say makes your platform stand out from others?
Well, you know what? I I have to credit that to the work ethic that I've developed, and even having the team that I have now. So shout out to BTW Sneak, shout out to Ellie, BTW Entertainment. As a team, we come together and everything has just been next level. So the way that I like I guess the work that I put in the past, like I was the type of person who, when I first got started, all I had was my phone, and I ordered some lavalier microphones from Amazon. So what I would say would separate me. What was the question again? I'm trying to.
What makes your platform different from others?
The fact that I'll use whatever I have to get the job done. Whatever I have, however, even if it looks ugly, if it looks bad, not that that's what we want to do, but if that's the best we can do, that's what we're going to do on Clap It Up LA. And what we are also all about is making sure that we share our connects. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that we help other people get on as well. If that makes sense. I feel like that answer is like hella bad, but
get it out the mud and you helping others in the process. So
exactly.
That's a beautiful way to stand there, because a lot of brands don't do that. So
and another thing, like one of my biggest things was I want to help people understand that you can be what you want to be. And dreams do come true. You feel me? Like, it's kind of like a corny thing. Our dreams don't ever come true. But since I've gotten started on my journey, I've actually made at least 2 dreams that I had actually come true. There's this other dream I've been having of Snoop Dogg, right? Me interviewing Snoop Dogg. That one ain't came true yet, but one day it will. But yeah, I do believe that. Like, I believe that really understand why it's come true. It may not be easy as you expect it to be, but if you're willing to work to make that dream come true, it definitely can.
Yes. Okay. Well said. Well, hopefully Snoop Dogg out there listening. Shoot, Snoop will come on here
one
too.
day. It's coming. It's coming for real.
Love it. So, looking at your content, I've seen you have some great guests on your platform. So far, who was your favorite interview?
Man, that's tough. Because you have a special experience with everybody. You know what I mean? So it's tough to say who was my favorite. I can say the one that I'm probably most proud of is the time I interviewed Wallow 267 and Gilly the Kid. I'm probably most proud of that, because that was a situation where I actually manifested that before it happened. So like Wallow 267 and Gilly the Kid, they were doing a live show and they came out to LA. I wasn't gonna go, but my homeboy Scooby called me like, bro, what's up? You trying to go to the show? I'm like, whatever. And then I started thinking about it, like, you know what, maybe this is your opportunity to really get to Wallow. So I got off the phone with him. Then I called him back like, all right, I'm gonna go. So when we got off the phone, I told myself, I said, okay, today you're gonna meet Wallow, you're gonna connect with him, you're gonna interview him. And I swear to you, when we got to the show, I had a front row seat, right? But here's the thing, the stage is like in the middle. My seat was like over here somewhere. So here's the thing. I sat there, I'm like, man, they're not gonna see me. My uncle comes from backstage who was connected with them. My uncle comes from backstage. When he came from backstage, my heart started pounding because I said, this is it. This is how you're going to meet him. So during the show, Wallow and Gilly was like, we all about putting the youngsters on, right? And so I'm nervous thinking about asking my uncle this. I'm like, should I not? When I heard it, I said, hey, can you get me to Wallow after the show? He said, yeah, I got you. After the show, this is what I appreciate about Wallow and Gilly. After the show, they stayed after their show for probably about 2 hours, taking pictures, shaking everybody's hands, and talking to everybody that was there who wanted to talk to him. When my uncle went to Wallow and said, hey, my nephew want to holler at you. When he went to him, Wallow said, wait here. I kid you not. I waited. Me and my friends waited for probably another 2 hours before Wallow finally said, all right, come on, let's go to the back. He took us to like their dressing room or whatever, and that's where I did the interview with him. But here's what it taught me. Sometimes you have to be the last person in the room to get what you want done. A lot of people miss opportunities because they're not patient enough. And that's something I struggle with patience too. Like I swear, anxious. I want stuff to be done right now. I swear to you, but that's something that's an ongoing battle. And so I just thought about that. Like, I was the first person in line. Here's the part I forgot. I was the first person in line to the show. Wallow walks out. I'm like, hey, Wallow. He like, what's up? And he kept walking. I'm like, damn, is that it? This is me meeting Wallow? So for that to happen the way it happened, it was like, wow, because I didn't have backstage passes, but I ended up backstage. So that goes to show you, when God has something for you, no matter, it's like, it's going to happen. If it's for you, it's going to happen.
That was a message right there. And you definitely a media personality, because you're going to get in there. Networking is very important. We talk about this a lot in our platform about networking. So that was a beautiful example right there. You're right. If God got away, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And that really showed me that, because I did not have backstage passes. They didn't know me from a can of paint. My uncle came out and it happened. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I love that. And I love that you found something positive out of the experience too. Like, other than meeting him, of course, but like the fact that it tested your patience, and then almost a sense of like, well, how bad do I want it? Right. And
man,
if it wasn't for you waiting, then you probably would have never gotten it. So that's definitely something that I think a lot of us need to hear. You know, I think we're so caught up on the instant gratification of certain things that we forget that certain things, they are worth waiting for, just like that. So if you're going after your dreams, anybody who will be listening out there, make sure that sometimes you just have to wait, right? So what would you say is your favorite thing about creating media content?
You know what? I feel like I'm a very and I'm a dreamy person. All right, I'm a Pisces, so I'll be like daydreaming about stuff. Just I swear, my imagination can go crazy about the things that I can create. And I have to give a shout out to my team, because since we've gotten together, more of my vision has actually been able to come to light, because I'm not doing it all by myself. So damn, I lost track of the question again.
What's your favorite thing about creating media content?
Oh, just being able to live out my imagination. You know, like one of the things that I want to really get into now is you see like different platforms, they do behind the scenes stuff and they'll put it on YouTube. Me, I like to put the behind the scenes stuff on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, because when you're shooting these episodes, it's a lot going on. Like, y'all know, when y'all have guests come in, y'all in studio, it's a lot going on off camera that's worth being seen. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that me and my team are working on, making sure we capture those moments and actually put it out there. And also, one of the things I enjoy is that, you know, I'm a leader. You know, I've struggled with confidence throughout my entire life. Never really thought I had what it took to be a leader. But now I'm seeing that I'm a leader. People value what I say. And I don't mean that I mean that in like the most, modest way. I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody, but knowing that people want to move and knowing that there are people who actually want to help me, that's a beautiful thing. That's also what I love about it.
Love it. Do you mind coming into some light a little bit so our listeners can see?
Yeah. I started seeing that. I said, I'm going to go up in the house. Yeah. Hold on.
We'll go ahead and,
I got you.
And so, best friend, what is our title for tonight?
So our title for tonight is called Clap and Believe. You know, we like to play a little bit on words every time we do a title, but yeah, it's about self-belief, about clapping it up for yourself, right? Speaking that life into yourself. In the little bit of time that we have been on here, we've kind of already been touching up on certain things, especially with the self-belief, but that's what we will be getting into later.
I love that. And our Ask Up question of the day is, what does self-belief mean to you? So I'm going to go ahead and start with my answer. To me, self-belief is knowing that you got you through whatever challenges, through whatever, what's the word I want to use? Whatever setbacks that you have, knowing that you have enough faith in yourself to make things happen regardless of the circumstances. I think that's my own personal. What about you, best friend?
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful definition. I'm going to have to piggyback a little bit off of that as well. Definitely about the, having that belief, obviously, having that notion that you are going to succeed, regardless if anybody is there or not for you, right? I think that's the biggest part about it. Like, whether you feel like you have a support system or you don't, you definitely need to be that own support system, especially when it comes to your dreams, because there's going to be people in your head trying to steer you away from certain things. But if you have that self-belief in yourself and it's strong enough, then you realize that those dreams, if they're important to you, you're going to make it happen. So I would add that onto there, that no matter what anybody says or doesn't say to you, that you still keep going.
Oh, well, so what about you?
That's a bar. Oh man, believe it. You know, like I have to piggyback off of that as well, especially when it comes to your dream and your purpose. You know, you have to believe when nobody else believes. And actually, many of us start off as our own personal fan. We start off as our biggest cheerleader because a lot of the time, nobody else is going to believe your vision. You know, you can tell any and everybody what you thinking or how you feeling or what you feel like you should do, but nobody else believes. So it takes you to believe to even make progress in whatever you want to do. So believing, that's the biggest thing any of us can have.
These are some amazing answers. And, you know, honestly, it is important to believe in yourself. That is the starting point. Any idea, anything that comes to your mind, that first believe in yourself is what it is. It's just like you have an idea. You first see yourself doing it. That's you somewhat believing, like you were talking about, J.Brock, about your dreams. That's something that you foreseen. So that small piece of belief is there. It's like the Bible. Enough faith to move, you know, enough faith of a
mustard seed.
So I feel like it's that same little spark that we all need to make our dreams even start. And, you know, it's important to speak life into yourself, into the process. You know, when we feed into self-doubt, I think that's how we discourage ourselves from going after what we want. And it makes it easier for us to believe negative things that people say to us about our dreams.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I think that, you know, that energy is definitely real. And, you know, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So there are days I'm doubtful. There are days I'm very uncertain. There are days I'm stressed or I'm worried. Sometimes I might be thinking about an interaction that I had with somebody. Like, man, I wonder if they think I'm weird now. You know, I wonder if I said something stupid. So believing, I believe that it's funny. Believing can be wavering sometimes. You know, just like confidence can be wavering sometimes. And you know, it was a day that I had to commit, because I'm gonna tell you something. I've been the person who've always struggled with self-confidence, the way that I looked, maybe the way that I felt people perceive me, which has to be something that you know, you can't really worry too much about what other people think about you. But that was something that would bother me because, like, before I got it started on my journey, I constantly thought about shooting skits. I constantly thought about being in a movie. I thought about being a rapper. I thought about being a person that was on stage at the biggest venues hosting an event. And you know, something that always amazed me was like when you go to a concert, how that one artist can have 10,000 people vibing off of their energy. And that was something that I always wanted to do. That's something I always saw myself doing. But what I would do was, people not going to support me. People going to think I look stupid. You know, people are going to feel, you know, like it just wouldn't look right. So it took me one day to say, you know what? I commit. People going to laugh at me. People going to think I'm stupid. It's cool. If this is what makes me happy, then I have to learn how to love myself and believe in myself enough to know that it's gonna be okay. Keep doing what makes you happy, and you'll get to where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say one thing I've learned in this is that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, right? Like,
facts.
You know, my humor may not match somebody else's. Even this particular show may not match with somebody else's, although it should. But, you know, it's something that, yeah, if you have something that you want to go after, then why not, right? At the end of the day, I'm not going to please everybody in the room, just like those artists, right? Even if they have all those 10,000 people watching them, they're going to have 10,000 others who are not, who are like, oh, okay, the concert of theirs, whatever. So they keep it pushing though, you know? And I think what I love about seeing somebody grow to success is not only their confidence gaining up, but also proof that they're not letting that self-doubt or that negative self-talk take over, that they believe in themselves long enough to create a platform, long enough to sell out arenas, you know. And those are like obviously big things that we can see, but even in the smaller things, that we don't see, like backstage, all the maybe affirmations that they have to tell themselves. Even for us, right? We have to do all this preparation and believe that we're going to be successful enough to make a good episode. That's also adding into that talk that we need to be giving to ourselves. And this is why it's important for us to clap for ourselves more often, right? Clap it up.
Facts.
Because even, how they say, like, fake it till you make it, right? So it's kind of along that same line where I'm going to keep speaking life into my project, into my dreams, because if I'm not, then who else will, right? Even if I have a whole team or anything, if I'm the one who's stopping that, then of course my effort isn't even going to be all in at that time too. So when I'm tapping it for myself more often, then I have more energy to give. I have more belief to give. And it overall just changes the entire vibe, even of your dreams, your projects, whatever you're going after.
That's a fact. And I have, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You can. I was going to
okay. Well, I was going to piggyback a little bit off of that, especially in this industry, it's just true. Everybody's not going to rock with you, everybody isn't going to work. Everybody isn't going to want to work for you. Everybody's not going to feel what you're doing. And it hurts, but you have to learn how to go through that hurt. Just because one person don't like you, I heard Wallow say, all you need is one person. I mean, what's a million people out there who they don't like what you do, but you can't allow that one person to take you out of your game. Like I said, it hurts, but we all got to work through that.
Yeah, and become so confident in yourself, it doesn't matter. To where it won't rock your ship. And that's why it's important to not hang around self-doubters. I feel like when you're around that environment of people who are secretly jealous of you, they're going to do anything in their power to pull you down, especially if they're down. If they're at war with themselves, what makes you think they're not going to pour that onto you? They see you walk around all confident, believing in yourself. They're going to find any reason to do something, because guess what? That's how they treat themselves. People treat you the way they treat themselves. So that's the good thing going on. So I have a question. In your opinion, where do you think self-doubt comes from?
I think it comes from confidence. I think it comes from committing to something and being worried about if you won't succeed. I think the root of that is being worried about if you won't succeed. At least for myself, let's say, I believe my self-doubt comes from if I can really do it. Am I really worth it? Can I really succeed? Is this really who I am? I think that's where the self-doubt can come in from. Because even when I threw my first event, I put this, put it together, and I got there and I wanted to throw up. When I got to the venue, I wanted to throw up. There was self-doubt. People, I was wondering who would show up. I was wondering if I would do a good job. You know what I'm saying? So that self-doubt right there, we have to go through that, but you have to know that even though I feel like this, I still got to do it. Because most of the time what will happen is you want to walk away. And if you actually walk away, now you got to deal with the regret of, I walked away. I didn't even see what it could have been. So self-doubt, truthfully honest, self-doubt is a part of this whole situation. If you can't battle the self-doubt, then you can't make it.
Because it comes up. And I want to say too, going off with imposter syndrome, I never said this on Speak Up before, but I'm going to say, because we're having a good discussion. Me and Jen had a live show not that long ago, and it went very well, actually. People clapped, people was feeling us. We sold more tickets than we thought we would. And I cried that night. I didn't feel worthy of the, people actually coming out, hearing us, taking their time out to pay and come out. And it's I feel like even as you're succeeding, that self-doubt is still going to creep up on you. Especially when you're the first in your family to do certain things. It's is this real? Am I really living this? So it's I think we're constantly reminding ourselves that we're worthy of the success, or worthy of the hard work that we put in to get the fruit with the tree. I think it's important we have to find a reason to clap it up for ourselves every day.
That's a fact.
Hard. Stuff's always happening, but if you woke up this morning, you didn't quit on yourself, I think that's a reason right there to clap for yourself. And I think during your darkest moments, that's when you need yourself the most. You have to love yourself through every phase. I feel like it's easy to love ourselves when we're happy, in a good mood, looking good. But what about when we need ourselves the most, when it's hard? Those are the moments we have to be real with ourselves.
That's a fact. And like I said, self-doubt is a part of it all. I heard Eric Thomas say, somebody asked him, Eric Thomas, motivational speaker.
Mhm.
Somebody said, when you hit the stage, are you nervous? He said, I get nervous every time. This is the biggest motivational speaker, one of the biggest in the world. And he still gets nervous. And see, that's why it's so important for people to be transparent, because it feels better when Nipsey Hussle talk about how he went through everything. We seen what Nipsey Hussle became. It feels good when okay, he went through this, so this must be normal. I didn't necessarily know that the downs were the downs are a part of the process. The downs are the process. You know what I'm saying? And I started 2 businesses and didn't know that, there's a thing called struggle. I didn't know that, there's a thing called money that you're going to have to invest. I didn't know that, I would have to go knock door to door. I started a window cleaning business. I passed my business card out to about 60 different businesses and got 1 window cleaning job out of all of that. So my thing about that is, it's important for people who get to these high levels. It's important for us to share this stuff so that the people that come after us understand struggle is all a part of the process. Your struggle is your story.
Hope y'all taking notes out there.
Definitely. I love that we're talking about this, and I think that's one thing that I really appreciate about like the generation of today, that they're more transparent in the sense of they don't mind sharing their struggles, right? I think even not that long ago, like Miley Cyrus, before she released this latest album that she has, she said she wasn't sure if she was ever gonna have a #1 hit ever again, or a hit in general. And look, Flowers, her latest song like blew up. So that's just like a obviously celebrity example, but I love hearing even from people around us, whether it's in our industry or just in our community, of the things that they even go through in their self-doubts. I remember the other day too, having a conversation with my mom and her talking about the self-doubt she had before becoming a mother, and sharing that, I think was a really big eye-opener for me, because it's like, I look up to my mom and I admire her for a lot of things, but that moment made her like extra human to me, in the sense of like, dang, you didn't know if you were gonna be a good mom or be successful, or things like that. So when we get to share these stories, we're actually normalizing that, we all go through this, like you were saying, right? That we all have those even darkest moments. But I think too that we all need a support system, that we all need to clap it up, right? Whether it's for you seeing somebody, like you were saying earlier, best friend, surviving the day, right? Because let's be real, a lot of people are struggling with their mental health right now. So sometimes even getting through the day is a goal that you should set for yourself. It's something that you should be proud of, because not a lot of people make it, and even for yourself, right? If today you did something that you thought you weren't going to do, but it actually helped you in the long run, that's awesome. If you ended up going to the gym today and you didn't want to, that's something to clap for, right?
Facts.
If you ended up showering today and that's something you didn't want to do, you made your bed today, that's something you didn't want to do, but you did it. Like, those are things that clap it up for yourself. It's okay. You don't have to announce it to the whole world, but as long as you're announcing it to yourself, then you're doing yourself a lot of good for the long run, especially when those bigger moments come along. So that way, if you feel like the imposter syndrome or anything like that, hey, if I'm making it through my days, I'm surviving, and I've gotten this far with all my hard work, then I must be worthy of receiving the fruits of my labor.
Yes, those fruits be coming in hard. And I would say it's okay to be different. We all have a different journey, a different story. We're very unique, and just embrace that. So it is time for our tweet up segments. And y'all know I like to be on Twitter. So something that I tweeted this week that goes with tonight's episode is, don't sleep on your potential. And I feel like this goes with believing in yourself. If you got that potential to do something, don't sleep on it. It's a reason there's a reason we have those gifts. Really embrace those gifts that you have, embrace your potential. And the first step is believing in yourself. So believing you can do it, knowing that you have that gift, why not take it to the next level? You never know what you will succeed if you don't try. So we have a question. What advice would you give to a person who wants to start their own media platform?
I'll give them information. I heard DJ Head say Charlemagne had told, who was it? Either Will Smith had told Kevin Hart or Charlemagne told DJ Head. Anyway, he said, I don't give advice, I give information. So for anybody who wants to start a media platform, I'll tell them, if you don't have everything, your phone is everything. Use your phone. Walk up on people. Get interviews off of your phone. Just, hey, can we? I don't know how to approach me every time, but I'll be like, hey, my name is J.Brock. Clap It Up LA. I like what you do. Do you got 2 minutes to, do a quick interview with me? Boom. If they say yeah, it's on. Pick that phone up. Oh, I flipped it upside down. Pick that phone up, turn it sideways, and record them and ask them the questions. That's one way to start a media platform. Number 2, you got to pull up to events. You have to pull up to events and understand that ain't nobody going to pay you straight off the bat. Pull up to events, be willing to work, and also you got to learn how to, you can't bring your life problems to your work. You got to learn how to kind of phase that away, because when you are a personality, you literally have to turn on a character of yourself, like for real. Like I remember like hosting my event. It was like an out of body experience. So to become a media personality, use what you have, pull up to events, and be willing to work without getting paid.
Oh, look, that was the information right there.
Man.
Oh, another one. Don't be afraid to network.
Facts.
Right there. We got to run our mouth. I remember I ran into Chuck Dizzle at a TF concert, got him on the show. You got to go up and shout out to Chuck Dizzle.
Yeah.
You got to shake hands and go out there. So,
facts.
If you want to start a media company, you just drop some good information right there.
Facts.
So, go back into our episode deeper. So, yeah, it's hard to believe in yourself if you don't truly know who you are. So, our show focuses on self-love and inner peace. We really talk about that self-acceptance, really getting to know who you are. How you going to believe in what you don't know?
Facts.
If you don't know who you are, know anything, how are you going to know what you're capable of or your potential or what you like to do? So I think, really nurturing that self-relationship or growing who you are, that's how you're able to even believe in yourself in the first place.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the relationship we have with ourselves, right? It's the longest one and the most important one that we're going to have. So it's the one that we need to know the most and have the most solid foundation too. Like, I know we talk about nurturing other relationships, but if you're not nurturing that one that you have with yourself, then how are you going to be able to fully nurture all the other ones in your life or even your dreams, right? If you don't know who you are, then how do you know what those dreams are? And then two, don't be afraid to try a dream. And then if you realize it ain't for you, or maybe you have to tweak it a little bit, then that's okay too, right? That's a part of life. It's a trial and error thing. Like, if you're just sitting there though, like wondering, oh, I should have done this, I could have done that, blah, 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 but you never actually did anything towards it, then ain't no shoulda, coulda, woulda, it would have happened, right? So also too, like when you are going towards your dreams, make sure that you're giving yourself flowers along the journey. That's really big, and it goes with that self-talk. And it can be either literal flowers, but also definitely like patting yourself on the back for the small victories or even the big victories towards yourself, right? I remember when we first started this podcast and we released the very first episode, we were so nervous. I remember we were like contemplating, going back and forth. It was the fresh new year at that time. But it felt so good to finally release it, because we're like, damn, we've been talking about this, we've been planning it for months, and we finally did it. And now, as we're reaching certain milestones, the 20th episode, the 30th episode, those are the ones that are like, dang, we're almost there. And we definitely have something big planned for the 100th episode. But those are the flowers that we give to ourselves. And we also have this thing where when we meet, also we talk about like the good things that happen in the episodes, because we're also not afraid to improve, right? So we realize that certain styles work for us together, and then certain things are like, okay, maybe we could tweak that a little bit, but it's part of the flower giving process, in realizing that this is working or this is not.
So y'all got a good situation going on too.
Oh, thank you.
Great situation. Excuse me.
Thank you. Likewise. How do you give yourself flowers?
Sometimes I sit back and watch myself. Like, I'll watch an interview and I'll be like, damn, I'm really good at what I do. I don't do it often, but I have my moments where I'll be like, yeah, I'm good. Other than that, huh?
You are good. Yeah, you are.
Thank you. Other than that, yeah, that's probably about it. That's probably about it. I don't, you know what? I guess my day of real like self-reflection comes on my birthday. Because I judge, not that I judge it, but I'll be like, okay, am I at the same place that I was last birthday? Usually every birthday it's like a different level, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's usually where I do it at. And actually, to bring in my 30th birthday, having my first official event, doing it that way, yeah, that was I don't know, like I was able to bask in it a little bit, but I was so much of thinking about the next event, this next upcoming event. I kind of saw I saw what it was good, because it was definitely a blessing for everybody there, and that's what made it such a success. But I guess I didn't bask in it too long.
So a lot of self-appreciation, which is very important. So back. So it is time for our Life Up segment. So in our Life Up segment, that's when we take the episode and we relate it to today's world. So Bessie, what is our Life Up for tonight?
So this is a big one. The rise of us criticizing ourselves more than giving ourselves flowers. So it's like a little bit of what you touched up on earlier, in that we're so quick to criticize ourselves, to talk about what goes wrong, right? Versus realizing what could possibly or is definitely going right. And this is big because although it's good to be aware enough to realize, oh, this isn't my strength, or, you know, I could get better at this way, it's detrimental when it stops us from, one, seeing all the good that's in front of us, and two, when it stops us from growing, where it's like, okay, well, yep, I suck, I'm gonna give up on this, and then that's it. No, what if it's just, everything takes practice, even like podcasting, right? Even interviewing, that takes practice. As much as you can have that natural talent, if you never actually do it enough, then how are you going to improve? And then I always take it this way, that there's always room for that improvement. So if I'm over here criticizing myself, telling myself I'm not good enough or I don't deserve it, then I'm not even giving myself that chance. And the way that I like to combat this is, I take it, would I say this to like my best friend, right? Or would I say this to my partner? And if it's a definite hard no, then why would I ever say that to myself? Because then I know it's hurtful and it might even possibly not be true.
And we also talking about too the rise of self-doubt, the rise of comparing ourselves to others via social media. You know, someone made this point how now with celebrities we have more access to them. They were saying how back in the day, you know, when you saw a celebrity, you were just on a music video or a magazine cover, but now we literally see their day-to-day, you know, we know everything about them. And I think too that has put in a rise in people comparing themselves and feel like they're not good enough because they're comparing themselves to this particular artist and this and that. And it's like we have to like stop that and acknowledge we're on our own journey. We have our own boots that we wear, and that's how we go. And Jim brought this one up too. The feeling of failing at something lasts longer than the success feeling.
Man,
you have a successful moment and it passed. Quick, you know, you remember it, but then when we fail, we stay on that. And we
I think what it is, because we spend so much time in grind mode. You know, we don't necessarily spend time in the, we doing our shit, it's going up, everything is so beautiful. We don't spend that much time in that because that's not what it is. We spend much more time in, just made a mistake. Okay, I got to do this now. Okay, I got to do that now. Okay, this is next. Every now and then we get that big hey, hurrah, but it don't last long. And it can't last long because it's always time for the next move.
That was, and I think too, like so I turned 29 this year. One of my affirmations was enjoyment. I tell myself I'm just going to enjoy more, you know, because like speaking of grind mode, I don't want to look back when I'm 80, like, damn, I was just in grind mode this whole time. No memories, none of that.
You won't though. You won't.
I'm glad I'm glad you brought that up because it's like, I've been more conscious of that. Like, okay, what am I using my youth for? My 20s, my 30s, what am I using that for? So how do we fix this, y'all? Let's be more in the moment. Let's not be so hard on ourselves. Let's have grace with ourselves. And let's not compare ourselves to others. So we have a question for you. What's your favorite positive affirmation you like to say to yourself?
Come on. I ain't gonna lie to you. I work out, right? And I'm always telling myself, come on, don't stop. Come on.
I like that.
Keep going. Come on. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I might be in the middle of a rep and I want to put it down. Come on, let's go. And also, it's only up. I say that a lot. You know, it's only up. You know, if any, I'm gonna see y'all accomplish something, I'm gonna retweet it. It's only up. You know, because we got to understand, we are putting in this work, and it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get bigger. You know what I'm saying? It's only up unless you give up. So I guess I would say, come on, and it's only up. Yeah, facts.
Only up unless you give up. That's a shirt right there.
Damn, for real, huh? I just said something right there.
You better take that.
That was a
That's
bar.
it. So y'all know what time it is. It is time for our drink up water segment. So if you're listening out there, please pull out some water and drink some water. And Jen has a water fact for tonight.
So tonight's water fact is the water has an important role as a thermoregulator, regulating the overall body temperature by helping dissipate heat. If the body becomes too hot, water is lost through sweat, and the evaporation of this sweat from the skin surface removes heat from the body. Sweating is the most effective way that the body prevents itself from overheating. So obviously, if you're not drinking enough water, yeah, you may be sweating, but you sure as hell gonna be dehydrated. So the importance of drinking enough water is that if you're going to be sweating and you're going to be cooling down, at least your body's not losing too much water, or at least it's replenishing the water source. So always make sure that you're drinking your water, because we don't want to overheat. We definitely don't want to be dehydrated, especially when we're sweating.
Yeah, drink enough water so you can clap it up for yourself too. Okay.
Facts.
So it is back to the episode. That was our drink of water fact with my bestie. So we have a question. Where do you see your platform in 5 years? So go ahead and manifest it.
Man, I see my platform being one of the biggest out of LA. I see myself being a nationally syndicated media personality. And I see my platform being a complete live experience. You know, I would like to be in a space where I do nothing but live interviews, to where, you know, not to compare to, but the Arsenio Halls, you know, I would like for Clap It Up LA to be, I guess, in the realms of that.
We see it coming.
And make it my living completely from doing what I love.
Yes.
Ooh, that was a good manifestation right there. Put it out
Facts.
there. So it is time for our quote up segment. So y'all know my bestie is a quotie. So she has a quote tonight that goes with tonight's episode.
So tonight's quote is, "Just believe in yourself. Even if you don't, pretend that you do, and at some point you will," by Venus Williams. And I love that because it goes with pretty much what we've been talking about, right? That you got to fake it till you make it. That if you don't believe in yourself, you know, nobody else will, type of thing. That at some point it's going to become almost second nature to start believing in yourself. Or even if it never does, just keep going and see what happens. Like lately, that's been my motto, you know, just keep going and see what happens. Like, oh, well, this came out right. What if I push it a little bit further and it might go even better? And then you just go from there. Obviously, all healthy things that are going to help you in the long run. So before anybody comes at me of like, oh, I'm going to push this to the limit, you know, we're all talking about healthy things over here. But it's a matter of, yeah, you know, at some point you're going to feel that recognition of like, dang, you know, I really made it this far. I am who I think I am. Like, I think that's the best part about it. So make sure that you're always believing in yourself, even if you have to fake it from the very beginning.
That was well said. And day too, it takes strength and courage to speak life into yourself as well. So working on that muscle will help you do that, be able to do that, pushing yourself. So what is a quote that you live by?
Quote that I live by. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I like that quit one. What was it?
The come on? Yeah. Yeah. I guess you know, I can't say a quote that I live by, because I can't say. I really can't. I can't think of nothing up. Maybe it's only up, I guess. Maybe that's it.
That's strong enough.
Yeah, hey man, it's a lot of meaning behind that. Like, you know, you gotta understand it's only up. You know, whatever you're doing, we working, we putting in this work, and we have came far from where we once were when we first started, right?
Yes.
It's only up. It's only up.
Snaps to that.
So we have also a fun question that we wanted to ask you. If your younger self could meet you as an adult, what would they be most impressed by?
The fact that I decided to believe.
Woo!
Since a kid, like, I struggled with confidence, and I had people there who would pump me up, but I always struggled with confidence. I always failed to really believe in myself, and I've always failed to believe that I deserved good. You know, I thought that I was, I don't know, like, I remember being young thinking I was just gonna live in the ghetto my whole life. You know, I just, you know, always felt like I wasn't worth it. So A younger me looking at me now would be proud of myself for finally believing in myself and doing exactly what I felt like I wanted to do.
Oh, yes. I love that answer. And honestly, it's time for our wrap up segment. So, how does this relate to self love? Self love is loving yourself enough to believe in yourself. How you going to believe in what you don't love? So, love yourself more and more so you can believe in
Big
yourself.
facts.
So, how do you practice self love?
Well, I take care of myself for one.
I like that.
I work out. I do my best to make sure that I eat healthy. I don't know. I guess I spend, just spending time with myself, making sure that I'm doing everything to make sure that I operate at the highest level. You have to take care of yourself in order to continue to love yourself. You got to take care of yourself and make sure that you are in the best shape mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and physically in order to continue to improve that self-love. I heard Will Smith say that. Will Smith said basically self-love is looking at a piece of cake and telling yourself, don't eat that piece of cake because it's going to make you feel horrible. And that's not going to be what's good for you. So I guess I practice that by just taking care of myself and making sure I'm operating at my highest possible level.
I can definitely see that too.
Thank you.
Yeah, that self-discipline be coming through, right?
It's a struggle though. I'm not saying I'm perfect. It's definitely a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it is.
It's a struggle, but
this shit ain't easy.
It's only up. It's only up.
Yeah, facts. It's only up.
I agree 100%. So we have another question that we like to ask all of our guests. What do you want to be remembered for?
Man. That's deep. You know what, man? I want to be remembered for being a resource. I want to be remembered for the positive impact that I had on people's lives. I want to be remembered for changing other people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's deep. Like I guess I feel like I'm so focused on work and I never think about what I want to be remembered for. But yeah, I want to be remembered for a positive impact.
Okay, leaving your mark. I love that.
Yeah.
And remember, y'all, keep hyping yourself up even when no one is watching. Honestly, what we're telling ourselves, what we're thinking, no one sees that. And it's like, that's really where it matters. You know what I mean? We could act a certain way when we out in public or on social media. But how are you with yourself behind closed doors? And I think that's the best time for you to be still talking to yourself positive and pumping yourself up.
I agree 100,000%. And let's be real, right? There'll be more times no one is clapping for you than times that somebody is. So at least make sure that the clap that you do hear on a consistent basis is your own.
Yeah, that's where the real battle is. The real battle is when you by yourself. That's where the real battle is. The real battle is when you wake up every morning and you go and look in that mirror. That's that battle. Because when you looking at that's that battle. Because when you look in that mirror, you are faced with all of your decisions. No matter what you put on social media, no matter what you telling people, you look yourself in that mirror and you know all of your truth. That's the battle right there.
Well said. So before we wrap up, can you go ahead and shout your information out? Where can people find you?
It's your boy J.Brock is Clap It Up LA, and you can find me at J.Brock CIU on Instagram. You can find me at Clap It Up LA on Twitter. You can find us on YouTube at Clap It Up LA, and please subscribe, even though my monetization hours ain't going nowhere. We appreciate everybody who subscribe. That's where you can find me at.
I love it. And can we all clap together just for the record?
I gotta hold the phone.
I always want to do that with you.
Hold on, I gotta see if I can get a good one. There we go.
I love that. That was great, by the way. We appreciate y'all tapping into our 12th episode of our newest segment, SpeakUpJV now. But before we go too, tap into our pre-recorded episodes. We just dropped a new episode on our YouTube channel, Spotify, and Apple. SpeakUpJV is global. Make sure y'all tell y'all friends about us. And before we go, a quick shout out to our amazing sponsors. Shout out to My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester in Inglewood, California. Get your nails, your lashes, your hair done. Extra my time. That's SpeakUpJV. Sent you to Instagram. It's at nyy.bar.
And shout out to Be Actual Natural. Why settle for less? All their products are created with you in mind for a goal to let your self-love show through your self-care. Their chemical-free hair and skincare products are handmade, plant-based, and free of fillers or preservatives. Treat yourself while you're taking care of yourself. Start your journey at www.beactualnatural.com or check them out on Instagram at beactualnatural.
Yes, most definitely. And it was a pleasure having you on our platform. Thank you for coming through and dropping the gems for our listeners. This was amazing.
Man, thank y'all. This was amazing. I do feel like I was kind of just talking a little bit. I don't know, like I was kind of like what you call it, ranting off, I guess. But no, thank
believing in
y'all.
yourself.
Oh no, well no, thank y'all. I really appreciated this experience. This really felt good.
Yes.
And I like y'all work too. I really enjoy y'all work. For real. Y'all do a great job together.
Thank you. Hopefully we can collab in the future. We're putting that out there.
Definitely. Shit, I don't see why not.
Right, for real. Make sure y'all tap in with us live every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. We love y'all. We will see y'all next week.
Love y'all.
West Coast.